so one of the best show I have seen.
It's wonderful. It's probably like the best birthday gift ever. It's really awesome.
Well, the spiritual aspect of the program is what stood out for me.
Everything is just beautiful, and they dance so elegantly. Everything is just very smooth. It's just amazing. Beautiful costumes, absolutely gorgeous.
The performance, the synchronization, the costumes, the fluidity of the performers was fantastic.
Hello and welcome to NTD Asia Talk. With us in the studio today are two guests from Shen Yun Performing Arts, formerly known as Divine Performing Arts. They are MC Leeshai Lemish and company manager Vina Lee. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Congratulations to another successful year. Personally, I'm a great fan of Shen Yun Performing Arts. Every year I see the show at least twice.
Really?
Maybe for those who haven't seen the show yet, let's tell them a little bit about the company. Where is it based?
The company is in New York, New York State, yeah.
And the performers, where are they from?
Most of them are ethnic Chinese who grew up in the West. We have performers from North America, Europe, Australia, from mainland China, from Taiwan, all over the world, really.
And you've gone to how many cities now this past year?
Over 80 cities. And we've been all over the world, and the tour is expanding each year, so it's kind of hard to keep track at this point. We just came back from South America. It was our first time there.
Sure, and exactly. Every year the show goes on, I can see it growing exponentially. What would you say is the success behind the shows?
Working very hard. And also, I think we bring back the culture been damaged for a long, long, long time. And the culture has been expected by the society. And the principles and the beauty, the truth, the compassion, the loyalty, all these beautiful things bring back on the stage. So that makes fundamentally success.
I think what Shen Yun has been able to do, which has been such a key element in its success, is bring together the richness of traditional Chinese culture, 5,000 years of history, with all its stories like Mulan, which we know about, different ethnic groups, different traditions and different dynasties, just this incredible diversity and richness of culture, and to combine that with an incredibly beautiful art form, classical Chinese dance. And to put these two together, accompanied by the orchestra that we have, which is again a combination of classical, Western instruments and Chinese instruments together, and our singers, it really brings to life this ancient culture. And I think people who don't know about it are eager to learn about it, and they really kind of just stare at it when they see it for the first time, because it's so different from things that we've seen before, like ballet. And people who know about it really appreciate it and feel a connection. I think that's a big key.
Sure. And now, Leeshai, in New York, we're very familiar with Broadway shows and ballet. How do you normally describe the difference between Shen Yun Performing Arts and, say, the Nutcracker or even the Lion King?
Well, I would say one of the big differences is when you go to see, say, the Lion King, you're seeing one story plot from beginning to end. With the Shen Yun shows, we have 15 to 20 different pieces, very short, each of them is. And they range from stories like the legend of a great general or the legend of Mulan, stories from different literary works like the Monkey King, to ethnic dances, folk dances, dances with props like fans and swords and drums. And then you have singers. So it's a very diverse show with a lot of different things and basically something for everyone. And it moves very quickly.
And Vina, too, I mean, one of the things that amazes me a lot is how in one performance you can have a whole story be brought out. Can you talk a little bit about that and how traditional Chinese dance can make that happen?
Oh, because the classical Chinese dance has such rich movement, and the style is like, you don't have a certain form to say, you only have certain movements. Actually, you can combine a lot of techniques, for example, jumps and turns and tumbling and spin. I mean, it's all these things put together, and also the major thing is for the internal strength. Is we use the word as a Shen Yun's Yun, it's a bearing, and that's carried a lot of things blending within it. It's very hard to describe it. It actually shows different characters, and you using different Yun to present these characters. So that's why when we have, doesn't matter, like Leeshai just said, like a big general, or Mulan as a female, or an older woman or a younger girls, and this can describe very well to use the body language And when we have 5,000 years history, we select whatever suits for the dance piece. We can choreography very well with this kind of movement to bring the story on stage. And especially people who ever knowing a little bit about Chinese culture, or even you don't know anything about the culture, and our MC can have a great intro about the story. So that's why within less than 10 minutes, one of the famous history can bring on the stage, and we can do it. Yeah,
it is very amazing to watch. And now those same performers, sometimes they perform different roles. How do they switch back and forth between these different characters?
Well, that's how a dancer has been training that way, because they don't have time to think. The quick change and come over on the stage, and not this time I'm a soldier, but next time I can be somebody else, and it's a very different characters, but used to changing that way. So it's not a big deal.
It's amazing, we're standing on the side of the stage, and one moment they're playing this really brave soldier, next person they're changing their outfit, and they're an old man on stage. They could be an evil person one moment, a hero the next, and it's just incredibly dynamic offstage. You're looking on stage, it looks like this one clear, really beautiful picture, but offstage people are busy changing costumes, and the costumes are amazing, they're really beautiful. That's one of the things that people really notice about the show, and especially we have this kind of synchronization between the costumes and this 3D-like projection in the back, so you really feel like you're in the scene itself. But it's amazing the diversity of roles that they have to play. It's really quite awe-inspiring.
Our dancers sometimes more tired, at the backstage instead of on stage, because it's such big changes at the back. Yeah, quick,
very elaborate
fast.
costumes.
Yeah.
And speaking of the costumes, I mean, the costumes are truly amazing and very colorful. Where does the inspiration come from for these designs?
From heaven, truly.
Traditional Chinese culture has the belief that Chinese culture itself was divinely inspired, and that many of the things that are so key to Chinese culture, like farming methods, tea, costumes, are basically inspired or an imitation of heavenly beings that used to be in touch with human beings. And so traditional Chinese clothing is actually an imitation in that sense of what the belief was of celestial beings' attire.
Sure, and actually hold that thought, because there's a lot more questions I want to ask you about that. We'll be right back after this break.
Oh, the show is fabulous, outstanding.
Really enjoying it, just phenomenal.
It was touching to me to see that.
The choreography, the music was beautiful.
I really had a change of heart to how I view the culture of China at that point. I didn't know that it was like that.
It's definitely something you need to come and see. It's a very good, both from an aspect of just from the spectacle of it and seeing the performance, but also to kind of get an insight into some Chinese culture as well. I think it was very enlightening for me.
Really enjoyed the first scene where they were coming down from heaven. To me, that's what I view it as.
And the tenor was just incredible.
Next show, I can guarantee I'm going to be bringing 10 people.